Being frugal and all that, that's cool, but there's some things that you should not cheap out on. I understand being frugal and saving money is the first step to making money. I'm not disputing that, but there's just some you guys should not skip out on. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 things that you should never cheap out on. Let's get into it. First one's a phone, all right? Let's say your phone broke, you know what I'm saying? You need a new phone, or even any electronic in general, but we're just gonna go with phone. Your options are, I could buy a shit brand new, I could go to the store, I could probably get maybe a model that's a year older from somebody off Facebook for half the price. Let me try to save that money. Every iPhone's the same, every Samsung's the same every year anyways. Why would I go and buy that brand new one? So let's say you're younger, you're less informed, you're 16, you don't know that there's cold people out here. You meet the guy in a parking lot, the phone turns on and shit. You're like, okay, calm, like I'll just buy it. How much? $500. Calm, you give him the $500, you go home with it. You get home, you bust in your SIM, the SIM doesn't work, the phone's not unlocked. Boom, you're using the phone for the next 2 minutes. You're like, hey, maybe I could spend $70 to unlock it. It's still gonna be cheaper than buying a brand new phone. You're using the phone, boom, water damage, notification pops up. You open up the camera app, you try to take a selfie, the screen's black. You message the seller saying, yo, I wasn't aware all this shit broken. Obviously, they don't respond. Now you're at Apple paying a ban for the real thing. So again, with phones and electronics, I know that you can get a good deal. Sometimes you can get lucky, but in my personal experience, just buy that shit brand new. It'll last forever. You could still sell it for maybe half the price, maybe a little bit less or more depending on what it is in the future if you really need to get the money back. In my opinion, if you really need that electronic, especially if you're using it for work, please just buy it brand new. It's easier that way. It helps the economy go around. Do your part. Next one I'll talk about is a mattress. You spend a third of your life sleeping on that shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure that's correct too. I know a lot of people live in their childhood homes or whatever, so the mattress kind of bought by their parents. And you just kind of been hugging it your whole life. But whenever you do move out or get the chance to buy your own shit, you know, make sure you test out what you like, a firm or soft mattress, whatever. You don't want to buy a cheap mattress off of Amazon and your back stiff every day when you wake up. You're gonna spend $200 on that cheap mattress you saw online. You're gonna try it out for a couple of weeks. In an extreme case scenario, maybe your back hurts, now you're missing days of work, you know what I'm saying? Or you just feel generally more tired, more lazy, now you're less productive. Then you go out and buy that proper mattress anyways, you know what I'm saying? So just and do it right the first time. I'd say when it comes to mattresses, don't skimp out on that. Next one I'll say is cars. I don't recommend going to a dealer, especially if you have a nice car, because they're gonna rip you off. But if somebody's saying they can do your brakes for $150 for all 4, please run away. Don't be that dumb. Your car can literally kill you, you know what I'm saying? Like you're going at speeds where if you get hit, your rim falls off, it could be a super up situation. Be very careful where you go. I'd say look at reviews, or if your dad or your best friend's recommending it, like they've done it on their car, then maybe you can go ahead and do it. But don't just go to any random place that has the cheapest deal. It happens all the time. It can be something as simple as switching from your winter rims and tires to your summer rims and tires. They say $20 installation. They don't torque the bolts properly, and now you're driving on the highway, your rim falls off. What are you gonna tell your insurance? Now you have a far more expensive problem. You know, I just say with cars, just be very careful, make sure you're doing your shit at the right place. Next one, girl, guy, say your haircuts, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to do that shit yourself if you don't know what you're doing, you feel me? I know it can save money, but your appearance is one of the most important things you got. Make sure you're doing that shit correctly. Don't cut your own hair if you don't know how to. Probably gonna spend money on the clippers and then realize you can't do it yourself and then go to the barber anyways. You can't return used clippers. Save yourself the money up front. If you don't know how to do it your hair, don't do it. The final one I'm gonna talk about, and it's kind of a weird one, but I'm gonna say insurance, you feel me? You don't realize how important that shit is until you need it. Whether it's health, car, home, renters, whatever the fuck it is, don't cheap out on that shit. Make sure you have good coverage, because when you get into that sticky situation, you're gonna wish you had the best coverage. It's life, it happens, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be prepared for it. And typically it's another $50, $100 to get that full coverage, and it could save you hundreds of thousands potentially if you get into the wrong situation. So that's the last thing I'll say. Do not cheap out on that. And again, being frugal isn't bad, you know what I'm saying? But there's a line between smart spending and false economy. A lot of the time, saving money in the short term will cost you more in the long term. And it won't just cost you more money, it's gonna cost you peace of mind as well. I know everybody got one. Drop your frugal fail stories in the comments below. I wanna laugh, I'm trying to see that shit. As you guys know, new videos every 2 days. Subscribe for that. Real game, no fluff. Welcome to America.